it's telling me about live chat, but it wants me to open. I'll look at it later. I thought it was just giving me that icon so I can go on live chat, because I've been asking about how to do live chat, because apparently when you get to a particular number of subscribers, you can do live chats, which is, you could see things as people comment and it goes live like that. So like the normal, as we allow people to come in and grace us and form part of the tribe and the community, send your greetings, send your togoza. Do say where are you, tuning in from, because today we are going to be speaking about Isichitho, and I didn't label the topic because I wanted to save time. But the 100 and something people who came earlier on know that we're talking about that. Yes, Kifile from Kruger Stop. Thank you. I think the break did me really good because I came back with a glow of note. Um, yes, now from PE, Simpiwe from Oliphant's Fontaine. That's actually close to where I am because I'm in Caswald. So Togoza Kokok from Cape Town. Dombizin Zandile. Aza Togoza. Yes, Fuyusa from Albertine. Martha from Naturena. Oh, first time tuning in. Welcome, tribe member. Thank you for coming through. Somebody from South Korea. Marion. Marion is from, Diana. Oh, from Cape Town. Oh, Zurich's from also Norway. Okay, good. So when I'm asking where people are from, it's so that I know, because I do African spirituality. Kwezi from the United States. So when I'm doing a teaching, I'm not exclusive. I'm not speaking a language that people can understand. Connie is from the United States, Manchester, no, United Kingdom. The United Kingdom. We've got somebody from Scotland. Okay. Hello, Maria. You probably know me from when I was a kid, because that's a name I grew up being called. So if somebody calls me Maria, I know they know me from my hood. They know me from where I'm coming from. Okay, so you need to also understand that African spirituality and the teachings around the tradition and the cultural practices were done and are still done in indigenous languages. So when I speak or I say a particular word, my eyes are feeling agitated. When I speak or I'm saying a particular word, I would then repeat myself in English, because sometimes I have to say it in the language that's familiar for me to get what that would be in English, because 95% of the teachings are done in English, and then 5% in vernacular, so that we can be able to have everybody who's tuned in get it. Remember to subscribe, because we are now moving the YouTube conversations to later in the evening. I did speak about that on Instagram to say that I want to try get my kids into bed, and today I came home late because being busy at school and I finished work very late. I think I came home at 8. They had dinner very late because I had to cook, still make dinner, make sure they eat, and then make sure that they go to bed, and then I come and do this. It helps me, and at least I can be here and I can be present. So every Thursday, look at between 9:30 and 10, I will be coming in doing teachings, and you're welcome to also suggest future topics. So today we're going to speak about Isichitho. Isichitho, it's a Zulu word that directly translated into English is to get rid of. So there is a common saying where you would be told "Ushaywe ngesichitho," meaning that you have been sent a getting rid of. And being sent a getting rid of, meaning that maliciousness or malicious intentions are trying to get rid of something in your life. And when they are trying to get rid of something in your life because it's malicious, so it means that actually that very same act is not to get rid of negativity, is not to get rid of ill health, is not to get rid of that which is not serving you. It is to get rid of that which is serving you. It is to get rid of that which is healthy in your life. It is to get rid of that is which is making you happy, progressive, shining in your light. So mematistrito, it means that it's an act. So it's an act that is being sent. It's a spell that is being cast to get rid of something good in your life and to leave you in not such a healthy, good, happy state. I hope you are following me. I just explained what Isichitho is. It's a Zulu word that means to get rid of the good in your life. And Isichitho, it's a common word used, but that's not, it doesn't mean that if that word is not used in your language, then you will not be affected by it, because there's different things that people do to get rid of things. Well, most commonly, Isichitho is known to get rid of people who are in a healthy relationship. Or assumption is we are in a healthy relationship, then somebody else comes and then gets rid of that. Yes, when there's a getting rid of good, meaning when there's a getting rid of blessings, when there's a getting rid of fortune, when there's a getting rid of greatness, you are left with a cloud of darkness, meaning isnyama. So that is the obvious, because when we get rid of the good, it means that we then want the dark or the that which is not good to stay with us. So there's Isichitho, there's abantu abazokhuluma ngesilwane. Isilwane meaning it is some type of animalistic figure or human figure that feels invasive when it comes to visit you at night, when it makes its presence known. And Islwane is normally also sent to get rid of relationships most of the time. So Isichitho and Islwane are the most common things that would then be sent to get rid of relationships, but they can also be used to get rid of other things that are helping you progress, your fortunes, your work, your relationship, your joy, really. So it is an intentional malicious act of getting rid of. I hope we are now all on the same page. So why? So the reason that is done is that because somebody feels they're a nobody, and because they feel like they're a nobody, they're gonna put their energy and be invested in you as a somebody, because they look at you, they look you glowing, you are slaying in your lane, you are doing very well in your life, and you've got potential, because it's not only sent to those who are doing well, it is also sent to potential. People get intimidated by your potential, because there's people who've had Isichitho Neslwane from when they were still young, because they're people who invest their time and energy in investigating our lives. And that's a reality. People who are invested in you, people who are invested in finding out what's next for you, people who are invested in whom are you with, people who are really generally invested in. And those who are invested in you is because they have nothing else to live for. So they have a sense of unworthiness, a sense of not having value. So when they don't have value, they will want to find value by devaluing your value, by getting rid of the things that make you worthy, valuable. All of those things that they perceive actually as the things that are making you valuable. So for example, so somebody sees Koko is glowing, Koko is looking good, and they start to check the Twitter feeds. Well, I'm not so much on Twitter, but the Instagram post, I wonder, Koko says, 2020, 2021, love wins. What is Koko with a new man? Or is Koko returning to his ex? What is it? Oh, there are people who literally invest in making sure that other people do not progress. That's what their life purpose has become, because they don't feel they want to invest and work hard enough in themselves to actually get to where they're trying to take other people who have arrived or who have a potential of arriving. So Isichitho, in most common cases where we come across it, is with people who are in a relationship. So a couple where somebody sends something to destroy that relationship. I mean, when we look at it, basically it is jealousy. However, that thing, yokuchita, an intimate relationship that is there and it's working. So there's isichitho and isilwane that is done before you are even in any relationship, that people would experience it growing up. And I'll speak about signs of how do you know you've got isichitho or uhamba nesilwane, right? So when people need to understand that most cases an intimate relationship is because we have invited a third party, you know, without consent of another party, or without consent of our partner. So what do I mean? Infidelity brings on things like isichitho, because you've got someone whom you are in a relationship with and you think you are happy and you are living your best lives together, and then your loved one goes and engages with somebody else and becomes in a relationship with somebody else. So they want what you have. So they're going to do something to cater the relationship. But in that instant, you need to understand there are no innocent victims, because there are willing participants. That's why I'm always say be very careful of energy vampires. Be careful of the energies in which you are inviting into your relationship, because you don't know whom you are giving yourself to. So in a lot of cases, an intimate relationship is because a partner has went out and had an affair. And had an affair with somebody who was okay, because in some cases, when people find out, or they actually even go into relationship knowing very well that you're married, knowing very well you are committed, or knowing very well you're in relationships. You are in a relationship, but they're comfortable to be on the side or the thing or the other person. So they become very careful to they become very comfortable in being the other person. And when they're the other person and they realize that it's not nice being second option, so they want to be first option. So they're going to then go and do things that are going to destroy your relationship so that they can have you to themselves. And that one that is done to cater an intimate relationship, it is one of the most gruesome, evil things that happen, because the things that they use, the things that they take from you to combine with umuti to make sure that you guys don't become together. Basically, isichitho is witchcraft, because any act done behind somebody else's back, any act that is done to destroy anybody's well-being, sanity, progression, light, whatever it is you are trying to destroy of somebody else, that is ubthakati, because ubthakati is negativity, so isichitho is negative. So that's what happens. So do not go into understanding that bantelling is isichitho, or they've sent isichitho your way and you feel like, oh, okay, I want. In most cases, a partner has cheated or is cheating or is in another extra relationship. Then somebody is doing those things because in order for it to work to the extent in which you do break up, they require certain things that belong to your most intimate parts of yourself. So they need parts that are intimate of yourself, intimate things that belong to your private parts, things that belong to things that will not be out there in public. So then it means that somebody has invited that energy into our relationship. So when you do find out, you can't just point a finger one direction, is to actually say, hey, what's up here? How come this has happened? Because now we are faced with this dilemma. So how you know that you've got isichitho, your dreams can also tell you. A lot of people actually see things in their dreams before they can even physically manifest in reality. So when you are seeing gruesome things like feces in your dreams, when you're finding yourself, you are lying on feces, or you are walking into a pool and all of a sudden it's dirty and filthy, or the water is dirty and filthy, or you're doing a number two in public. Those things are indications in your dreams that something is not right. You are being sent Isichitho, or gune Isichitho, or there is one already. And in your body, you will start to feel, irritability, extreme itchiness, and medically, they cannot really find anything wrong. You don't even necessarily have to have anything physically manifest in your body, but it can feel like something is moving, like ends are moving, or there's just things moving that you can't stop scratching. Right? And some people would have abnormal then rash or abnormal acne on their face. Because remember, for intimate relationship, I want you to be disgusted. So anything disgusting in the dream, it's a sign that you might be actually experiencing Isichitho. So it will be in your face. They throw it in your face. So when my partner comes in, they are disgusted by me. They are agitated. And please do not take normal acne that has to do with skin conditions and say, oh, bang telling is Isichitho. No. But I'm saying, if you know that you have never had acne problem and you start to experience weird things, and look at the pattern, because and what, right? Then you have these things, but also what happens where you fight with no cause, where your partner changes, their behavior changes extremely. So they find you irritating, they find you disgusting, they don't want to spend time with you, they don't want to come home. Literally, when they do, it's a fight. And they're not only fighting with you. If you've got children, they're also fighting with your children. So they don't want to be in the same space as you. That could be a sign that this is Isichitho. So this is within the context of an intimate relationship, because I'm speaking about Isichitho, and I'll speak about Isichitho in general and other things and the signs to look out for. So it's about being disgusting, somebody being disgusted at you. I think I'm saying the right English word. So that's what they do. So when you start to experience rapid, extreme physical change, dreams are speaking, the reality of your relationship is you are okay with your partner, and then now they get extremely angry, they're agitated, they never want to be home. And it does not necessarily mean that it's just the street or somebody's doing it. Remember, somebody invited them. So your partner who has been unfaithful also has to take responsibility and accountability, because it means that they were intimate with that particular person, hence they're able to access intimate aspects of them. And you'll also see when you get physical, so meaning when you become sexual with your partner, you start to feel unwell. You start to feel cramps or things, or something happens in your privates that becomes unwell with you. Then you know that something has been done. That's why I'm saying, I mean, we're on YouTube, beloveds, and we need to respect community rules. So I try and minimize my language without being too explicit, because I'm using this video for educational purposes. Please remember to like the video, share it right now on your Instagram timeline, tag a friend, get somebody who needs to be hearing this message, hear it, because by getting this, you don't know whom you might be saving. And you might also be saving a friend who is proud to be a side, or who's proud to be the other person, what they're getting themselves. Because the flip side of that thing is that when somebody's in a committed relationship and their partner is aware, they can do something to make sure that bachita your life. So they can do a send of Isichitho to you, where it will be very difficult for you to stay in any healthy relationship. And I've seen that a lot in people who go and have affairs with married people. Their partners will do something to make you never ever forget that you have done them wrong. Either ones of those two does not justify it, because there is no justification for imposing your will upon somebody else. It's not right. So you cannot justify, irrespective of what the circumstances are. Because I do know that it's You know, it's very hurtful to be cheated on. I've been cheated on. It's very hurtful when you find out, especially somebody that they're cheating with is somebody that you know. It's very hurtful and it's very hard to accept. But that's why healing yourself is very important, because you will want to retaliate. Taking revenge is not going to take the situation away. It's not going to undo what your partner has done. But people, when they're in pain, hurt people, they go and do things to make sure that you never forget that you slept with their partner. You know, you find that people have things growing in their privates. You know, you've got people have abnormal discharge. People have an abnormal smell that is not medical. So I'm not talking about an STI here. I am talking about Isichitho. So meaning that every time you try to get intimate with somebody else, you can't, because they feel, and it happens a lot in scorned people. So they feel their relationship failed because you interfered with it. So they're going to make sure that you live to regret it. Either act, whether it's a side, you know, getting rid of the main, or, you know, or the main getting rid of the side, does not justify doing such to another human being. Because, you know, how do you live with your conscience knowing that you are destroying somebody else's life? Because it's clear to destroy somebody else's life. Let me know if you're picking this up. Please, beloveds, make sure you share, you subscribe, put on the notification button. The more we like this video, the more, I think it works with the algorithms. People can easily access it because these teachings are offered here. I'm giving off my time. So make sure people are getting it. Follow me on Instagram. I'm Coco Dineo if you're not already. Follow me on Twitter. I'm also Coco Dineo on Twitter. My Facebook page is Coco Dineo and Lanzi. Institute of Spiritual Healing. Yes. Yeah. And I am a practicing sangoma. I am a Heal Your Life teacher. And that's why I'm an advocate of taking your power back and believing that you co-create your reality. And I'm also a relationship coach and an actress and a lot of things. But at my soul core is I'm a teacher, and I love teaching, and I teach from my own lived experience. So have I had an experience of Isichitho? Definitely I did. In my relationship, one of my relationships, I had a dream, and my partner did a number two, meaning that there were feces all over the bed. The next thing, when we came home, we came from a family gathering, and I was feeling a bit tired. I tried to take a nap on the bed, but something felt uncomfortable. I woke up and there were bed bugs all over the bed, like somebody just threw them. And I knew, Guti, it's Isichitho. Because my partner actually was the one, and I even told him, I mean, this is, no, everybody knows I used to be with Umkulum Kashwa. So it was with Umkulum Kashwa, and I told him, because I was a sangoma at the time, and I said to him, hey, I had this dream. So I knew what that meant, you know. I had this dream, but I guess I took it lightly, and we went away. We had to get rid of the bed, fumigate the house. So it does happen. Just because you don't believe in it and because you haven't experienced it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. So these videos are there to teach you, to empower you, to inspire you, you know, to, oh, yeah, no, I can coach you. So you know, to inspire you, to enlighten you so you can make better choices. So you know what you're signing up for, because people can be like sitting here, ooh, side, you know, and I say side meaning an extra person who has not been invited into the relationship by the two of you. That's an extra. And like, oh, the sides are evil and that, but even mains do things to keep their men, to keep their woman. They do certain things to protect their territory. And I feel like people who do such things are control freaks, you know, are people who are controlling and actually just generally toxic human beings, because why would you want to keep somebody who is not willing to be kept? People should stay in relationships because they want to. They don't stay because you are forcing them to, you know. And if they're cheating, it's not necessarily about you. It's also about their own sense of their own insecurities, because they feel like maybe they're not enough, or they don't belong enough, so they need to do something else. Yes, you can ask to be coached by me. So the same is practice number 074 210 2089 is the number to use for coaching as well. And the institute will tell you how how to make an appointment. Okay, so let's move on to teachings. So you now understand, are we all clear what Isichitho is? Are we clear about Isichitho in relationships? Are we clear about some telling signs that we are in a relationship and it looks like Isichitho? So I want to speak about Islwani, right? So remember, we're still on the point of note of intimate relationship. I'm going to speak about Isichitho in terms of life progressions and how do you see the signs. Thank you so much for the likes. I see the likes are going up. Please, beloveds, let's like, let's share, get somebody. I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate the Instagram text, because the more people see, the more people, want to come and join, because this is a tribe where we are healing, educating, awakening. So Isloani is when they send a thing, literally a thing, whether that thing is an animal, whether that thing whether that thing is an animal, whether that thing is a human being, where it comes in and it feels like it is being intimate or sexual with you without your permission. And you feel discomfort in the dream, and you feel like you are being forced into that act that you really haven't. It's a forcing. And a lot of people, when they get that, that's when they experience what we call sleep paralysis. Now, when it comes to sleep paralysis, I know a lot of people have said, oh, Coco, please speak about sleep paralysis. Even people who are spiritually gifted do get sleep paralysis. I used to get it all the time before I really worked with my calling. But now I know when I get it, it's not Lozi trying to reach out. Because before you actually embrace and accept it, sometimes it's not evil attacking you, it's Lozi trying to reach out. But because I'm in the stage where I've Lozi reached out and I have connected and I am in alignment with Lozi, I know when I get it, it's a spiritual attack. Because sleep paralysis, where it feels like you are half awake, you can actually see something come into a room or something, but you have no physical ability to fight it off. And normally people get rid of it by praying or by partnering during that moment where they feel there's an attack coming in. In Sesotho, it's called Isichitho. That's what sleep paralysis is called, Isichitho. So one great way, without even having to go and see someone to prevent Isichitho, just sprinkle salt on your bed, on your pillow. That helps a lot to deal if you have a lot of sleep paralysis, because it will also filter for you that which is evil and that which is coming with good intentions. It's just that it does not have a way of reaching you. Even smudging your room with mbepo. Mbepo is a very powerful herb. So that can also help. Even you bathing with it, even, putting some salt and under your pillow, those things do help. If you are late, it's okay, beloved. I'm going to save this video so you can catch it on later. So Isluan is also, and a lot of people who've experienced Isluan, it's somebody who did and scorned somebody else and they were giving it a payback. So that you've had me, so I want you never to stay with anybody else, or you've left me, or you cheated on me, whatever the reason is that the person feels hurt by the other person. But, beloveds, Isluani can also be done by your loved ones from a very young age. Most people will start to experience it when, in women, it happens when they start to get their periods. Where either when they're about to finish or they're about to go into a period, they dream being very sexually active with different people at that time. So it can start very early on where this thing comes and it feels. And what are the signs besides the dreams? Physical reality is that you get into a relationship, the minute you take things to the next level, meaning the minute you become sexual, the relationship, the partner doesn't come back, they just leave. They just lose interest in you. So know that the possibility is there is a thing, because it means when they become intimate with you, they becoming intimate with an interference, because Islam is an interference. It's interfering and interjecting on really your relationships. So when you've had a series of relationships where you've been with somebody and all of a sudden they just leave you, or there's a pattern, go check it out. And how you can truly know is by consulting, because it will appear in a consultation that you've got Isichitho or you've got Isluani, right? And both those things are quite, unpleasant. So when you keep on dreaming of being sexually active all the time, but not in a beautiful, consensual way, in a way which it feels like it's a violation and an invasion of some sort. And that you'd also wake up, looking or feeling like you've actually been intimate with somebody, and you'll feel very uncomfortable. So that's how you know that it is it. And I say to people, because that sometimes, intimacy is not always about ubtagati. It's not always about witchcraft. Sometimes it's about a coming together of two spirits or souls, if that makes sense. So the best way to really find out, and that one you can't do it yourself, cleansing. If you have had Islam, you really need to be cleansed and to be protected. So meaning fanele ugezwe and uqiniswe. So you will need to go see a sangoma to get rid of that. And the sooner you do, the better, because some people, they've had it. I've worked with people who've had it for 10 years, people who've had it for 20 years, and it becomes really a battle. So it means that even when we really get rid of it, yes, Islam, it can be tekoloshi. You can feel like there's a tekoloshi, meaning Tekoloshi is a zombie that comes. That's why I said it's a creature, it's a thing, it's a person, could be anything. It's just something that comes into your room and feels like it's violating you. So Istuani, normally it's there to make sure that you don't get married, you don't settle down in relationship, whereas Isichitho then in general can be sent for a variety of reasons. So it can be sent that every time you find a job, it doesn't last. Every time you try to do something positive for yourself, it is what can be also done to make sure that one loses their sanity. Like you never really progress, your life gets stuck. So it doesn't mean that Isichitho is only done for people in intimate relationships. I've expanded a lot because we encounter it a lot, but those things are also done by our loved ones, not necessarily by the neighbors but it happens. We've had people who their own families do those things. And that's where Ubutwala comes from. Because remember, we had a conversation about Ubutwala. So some families, Abatwele, they would then sell certain family members to this thing that needs to be fed all the time, Or they would just do it for the fact that they don't want to see you get married because this person had issues with your mother. Or it could even be your own mother. Or it could even be your own father. So we're speaking from experience. These things do happen. So when you feel like every time you touch something, things fall apart, and it's not because you are called, it's because something just is amiss. This is the beginning of the year, and I wanted to speak about this because this is a great time for you to do a spiritual consultation, to look at how are you spiritually, what is your spiritual health, because spirit is creator. If you are unhealthy in the spiritual world, your health is not well, you will struggle to manifest and make 2021 your year. So I hope this is very insightful, beloveds. I hope it's making sense. Isichitho is there to get rid of anything that is supposed to help you progress, achieve, thrive, succeed in life. It happens for, purposes of never getting married, never being in a good relationship, never accumulating any assets, never accumulating wealth, never even happiness, because it could be done in such a way that every time you meet somebody, you get angry, It's done for a lot, yes, and in other cases, it is generational. It's being passed from one person to another, one person to another, one person to another. So yeah, it is generational. And how do we know which is one we'll have to consult and see? Well, like I said in Julie LC, that it depends how long you've had Islwani. Because there's a series of things that we need to do to help you get rid of it. But the most important is not just cleansing, but it's protecting you so it doesn't come back. Because clearly some I've worked with some really tough ones. I mean, I remember my first case was years ago, where this woman has always, every night before she gets her period, she would dream of that. Every night, no fail. And, when I started, it stopped. And when it stopped completely, but she started to have, you know, dreams of seeing other people doing things, not her. So this time it wasn't her being intimate, but other people being intimate. But also when you get rid of darkness, you need to invite light. I said to her, but I told you need to come to do yourself. So you are not remaining in the energetic aura of Gibi, ngishaywa ngesichitho, or ngathunyelwa ngesilwane. So you need to be able to move from that energy field and be from, once we protect you, once we do everything, we move you into the light, because you need to start to radiate, because like attracts like, we need to move you away from that. We come from some people, witchcraft is real. But like I always say, and I'm going to say it as I near my closing, and please ask me questions while I close, like I always say that, people who do evil unto other people are people who really don't have power. Because if they did have power, they would be doing good, using that power to really help themselves. It's people who feel worthless, people who feel they have no value, people who are very insecure. They only can feel a sense of aliveness by destroying other people. So why would you be scared of that person? It's because psychologically it works on your psyche. You know, one, especially if it's a loved one and somebody who close to you, is like, how does my partner do this to me? How can that happen? And sometimes is that we become in denial because we want to be able to be see us to believe it. And just because you don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't happen, you know? So there's a lot of things, but it is a traumatic experience to go through an experience where somebody intentionally is trying to destroy your life. So it becomes very painful. So we cannot necessarily just think no. So I do say to people, especially who've had generational curses, to also, we do either it's coaching or we refer to a psychologist to take their power back. So as a Heal Your Life teacher, my work to coach you is to take your power back, is to say that you are not a victim of your circumstances. We can do something and you can stop the pattern and the pathology of witchcraft from just changing your psychological, by changing your psyche, by changing your thoughts, by changing a lot of things. So, yeah, so that's me for today. I hope you had a beautiful, beautiful festive season, and I wish you greatness, blessings, wellness, health, and abundance for 2012. Make sure you get yourself a spiritual healer, somebody who's reliable, somebody whom you feel like you can connect and trust, but somebody who can do their work with integrity as well, so that you can be able to start 2012 on a spiritually healthy and clean slate. Because some of us things are not working because we're carrying dark clouds around us and we're not even aware, and we think it's just the bad, it's just bad luck, or things just happen like that. Things don't just happen like that. Things happen because there is a cause that made it happen. A door doesn't just open, somebody opened it, and things don't just take note of those things. I don't know anybody in London. I do online things, and we send stuff to the UK as well. So we have courier services that send stuff. But sometimes I also prescribe and things that would be within your reach for things. So I don't know anyone who, I'm not aware of anyone. And a lot of times I like to recommend people that I've worked with, either that I've trained, because I know that if things don't go well, I can still go there and hold that person accountable. So yes, but thank you so much. Please remember to share this video. Please remember to like it. I appreciate you. I appreciate you showing up all the time. We will see you next week, Thursday. You are welcome to share topic suggestions with me. I think next week I want to speak about is it different relationships in different races and African spirituality, because a lot of people have been asking about, is it interracial relationships? Sounds so fancy. Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Have a blessed evening. I don't even know what time it is. Oh yeah, it is time. It is time. I need to get ready for tomorrow. Love and light, and may the ancestors of this land bless you always. Interracial, yes. Interracial, yes, that's the word I was looking for. Interracial relationships and African spirituality will be our topic for next week. I love you all. Love you very much. You all have a warm place in my heart. Thank you for having me occupy your space in the last 40 minutes to offer these teachings and and for gifting me your time. Thank you. Be blessed.